Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today we are going to introduce one of the Qassim University projects, which is the conference center. So at conference center we have an area about 50,000 square meter, and the cost of this project about 300 million Saudi riyals. So we are going to introduce the 5 project management processes, which are include the initiation process and planning, execution, control, and closing the project. So we are going to show the processes. And
initiation process. We define the first step of the project process, which contains the soil test, excavation, compaction, and surveying. The soil test to obtain the bearing capacity of soil that resists the load from building. Excavation, depending on soil test, that define the depth of soil to put the foundation. Compaction, to get the highest bearing capacity of soil and make ground as flat. Surveying, to determine the coordinates of face footing location according to plan design.
After surveying, we have 2 types of initiation. First one, formwork. We put the formwork on the ground sheet, isolated it with a plastic sheet to prepare it for cast. Second one, base plan concrete, to prevent any reaction comes from soil that affect on the footing.
Planning, which is the second process. The total cost for this project is 44 million riyal, and the lifetime is 2 months, will take 2 months. The process will, in planning, we have 6 steps. First one is formwork, which will take 10 days. After that reinforcement of the foundation, and it will take 20 days. After reinforcement, you have to cast the concrete, and before casting you must do some concrete test, which is strength test and temperature test. And after that casting will take maybe 3 and 4 days. After casting, you have to wait for 1 day before removing the formwork. Then you have to treat and isolate the concrete.
The third process of the project management is the execution process. The execution process consists of formwork placement, then after that the reinforcement placement, after that comes the concrete tests, after that the casting concrete, then after casting the concrete it comes the curing the concrete, then we remove the concrete. The last step is the installation process. We will start now in details with the formwork. The formwork, what we have here is wood formwork, plywood formwork. To place the formwork, so we start selecting the coordinates of the footing. Then, according to those coordinates, we place the formwork. Then, we support it with the bracing and the ground. After that, we check the formwork. If it's not moving, if it's rigid, it's important to be rigid. Then we start placing the reinforcement. The reinforcement for the mat foundation consists of two layers. The first layer in the bottom, and the second layer is in the top. And each layer consists of horizontal and vertical reinforcement. The main reinforcement is the horizontal reinforcement, and we need to check these reinforcement according to the design. How to check these reinforcement? We first start checking the design, how many steel bars are required in 1 meter. Then we count them in the site. After that, it must be the same as what's been designed, or more than the required ones. If it's less than the required reinforcement, we need to increase it or reject that reinforcement. After that, we place the second layer. How to place the second layer of reinforcement, which is in the top layer? We use the steel wire chair, and we attach that steel wire chair to the bottom reinforcement. Then on that steel wire chair, we use a steel bar. It's like a grid to support the second layer. And we check the second layer as we checked the first layer. After that, we need to make sure each attachment is attached very well and have at least 3 wires. Then we come to the second steps. The second step is the concrete casting. But before casting the concrete, we need to make sure and check the quality of the concrete. According to how to check these quality, we need 3 tests. First one is the temperature test. Then second one is the slump test. The third one is the compressive strength test. The temperature, we need to check the temperature of the concrete. It must be between 12 to 33 Celsius degrees. Then it comes the second step, which is the second test, which is the slump test. The slump test is used to check and make sure the workability of the concrete. The workability of the concrete to be very well, and how to check that? We need to check the slump of the concrete must be between 7 to 12 centimeters. If it's less than that or more than that, we need to reject that concrete. Then the compressive strength concrete test. We need to take samples from the concrete. Each 100 meter cubic of concrete, we need 6 samples. Then these samples, after taking these samples, we will send them to the laboratory to make sure of its compressive strength as it's required in the design. and then after that we cast the concrete. Casting concrete, we have here thickness of the mat foundation that we have. It's about 120 centimeters. For casting this mat, we need to cast the concrete in layers. Each layer at least has 20 centimeters, and each layer must be compacted. After that, we cast the second layer. As we cast the first layer, it must be compacted. And after we finish casting the concrete, we leave it to be hardened for 1 day. And after casting the concrete, the curing process starts. To cure the concrete must be wet all the time, at least 7 days. The time of the casting the concrete is 7 days, and we choose 7 days because the concrete must reach 75% of its compressive strength. Then the final step, we remove the formwork. After removing the formwork, we need to check the side of the foundation, if it's well compacted concrete. If it has, maybe sometime has some voids. These voids must be filled with cement before using insulation. After that, we start the insulation process. We use a bitumen material. This is like this one. It's here. This is the bitumen. It's used to isolate the footing. The purpose of using that material because it doesn't react with water.
Controlling design 2 parts. First part, certain work to make sure each point of footing. Second part, curing to get strong concrete.
The last step of the process is the closing, and in this process we fill the ground with the soil, as you can see in the site, and we fill until this red line. After that we level the ground and we close this process, and we move to the next process of construction.
We show the 5 project management processes of the foundation work at Conference Center at Qassim University. Our project management elements, which are initiation, planning, execution, controlling, and closing. I want to thank everyone who participated in this project, especially our helpful Professor Tomas. Thank you for listening.